Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like God forgave you, but didn't really want you? Or you really didn't feel like you belong? Hmm. Like you were back in the house, but not quite part of the family. Or like you got cleaned up, but you still felt like an outsider. Well, that feeling has a name, and it's not humility. It is orphan identity. Yep. We have been through a 2 episode arc. We're on our third about identity. Episode 1, who God made you to be. Episode 2, how the fall distorted that. Today, what God did to fix it permanently. Look, Romans 8:15 says you did not receive a spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you received a spirit of adoption. 2 words, spirit of adoption. That's actually 3, but spirit and adoption. That's the point. Most people stop at forgiveness. Forgiveness, really, if you think about it, it's real and it matters, right? Forgiveness is absolutely a thing. But forgiveness and adoption are not the same thing. Forgiveness says your sin is covered. Adoption says your identity is changed. So forgiveness deals with what you did. Adoption deals with who you are. So God did not just wipe your record. He changed your family. So you got to remember, Paul wrote this to people that understood Roman law. So let's understand it too. So in Roman culture, adoption was not a soft sentimental act. And most of the times it's not, but we see that on TV. We see the sentimental part of it. And it always has some legal thing that's happening in the background as well, right? So when a Roman father adopted a son, 3 legal things happened immediately. All previous debts were canceled, legally erased. Some sources say non-recoverable. Some say that there was instruments where you could still recover. Somebody could still recover a debt, even if there was adoption that happened. But in this case, with God, I tell you one thing for sure, it is non-recoverable because Jesus already paid it. Moving on. The second thing, the adopted son received full legal status equal to a biological son. Third, the adopted son became a co-heir with full rights to his father's estate. So Paul chose that word on purpose. Galatians 4:7. So you are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then an heir through God. You are not a forgiven criminal on probation. You are a full son, daughter with an inheritance. Okay? That is not a metaphor. That is your legal standing before God right now. Okay, so here's the situation. You know what? Here's the problem. A lot of people are legally adopted, but emotionally still orphans. So they believe the theology, but they are living from the wrong identity. Let's walk through it. Orphan identity, striving to earn approval, fear of losing what you have, competing with others, building to prove something, identity tied to performance, hoarding resources and credit, needs external validation. Adopted identity, resting in given approval, confidence in what you've been given, celebrating others, there's enough, building as an act of stewardship, identity rooted in relationship, freely giving, abundance mindset, secure even without applause. So if you see, you heard that first column, I want you to be honest. Which column are you actually living from right now? Because you can have the right doctrine and still live in the wrong column. So the wrong column was the first list that I did. Right column is the second list I did. It was literally left and right, which is funny. Anyways, orphan identity is not a salvation issue. It is an identity application issue. Romans 8:15 ends with something remarkable. By whom we cry, Abba, Father. Abba is not a formal title. It is an intimate word a child uses for their father. So, closest translation in English, daddy. So, think about what that means. That God created the universe, invites the creator of the universe, invites you to call him daddy. Romans 8:16. The Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God. You did not earn access. I'm going to say that again. You did not earn that access. You were adopted in it. All right. So this matters for how you approach everything, your work, your calling, your building, whatever it is that you do. You are not a contractor trying to earn a permanent position. You are a son or a daughter working in the family business. That changes how you work, how you lead, how you handle failure. So I want to bring this into out of theology and into Monday morning. If you are adopted, no, not if, you are adopted fully, legally, permanently, then your career is not your identity. It is your assignment. It's your current assignment. Your failure does not define you. It develops you. AI cannot threaten who you are or what you are. It can only challenge what you do. You do not need to strive for significance. You already have it. You can build generously because you are not building from scarcity. The company, the real estate, the consulting, the channel, the work, whatever it is you do, all of it should flow from an adopted identity, not an orphan striving. A son builds differently than a servant. Build like you know whose you are. All right. So 3 episodes now, y'all. You are made in God's image. You have a stewardship mandate. That was episode 1. If you have not seen that, go back and watch it. Episode 2, the fall distorted your perception of that image. The thief has a strategy. All right. So we talked about the thief in episode 2. We talked about adoption is the restoration. Your identity is not just forgiven. It is fully recovered. All right. Next, we will go from identity into action. You were built to build. Yeah. So we're going to talk about what stewardship mandate actually looks like lived out. All right. So subscribe, share this, write something in the comments. In fact, which column were you most convicted by, orphan or adopted? Be honest. Share with someone who needs this to know that they are more than forgiven. They are fully restored. All right. So every episode I talk about a life offer, and adoption is the gospel. It's the gospel's offer. It's redemption. It's redeeming, bringing you back. God is the judge. Jesus is the advocate. He's your lawyer. He's there. He's getting the case wiped the case against you wiped away because he already paid it all. All right. So if you've never received adoption, you've never you've been living like an orphan because you've never said yes to the Father. You've never said yes to Jesus. Right. Today is that day. Right. Don't wait. Right. If we confess with our mouth, believe in our heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, we shall be saved. God loves us. We've done things that's called sin nature. That's been an act of rebellion against God, even if we didn't know because we were born that way. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, God sent Christ to die for us, where He hung on the cross and He was buried and raised from the dead as the first to continue living. He's alive today, and he will be back soon. Just letting you know. So no pressure, but there is pressure. You need to get to know him. Open that door. If he's drawing you, come on, and believe in him and trust in him. There's two parts of that: believe and trust in him. So that belief is not just, oh, I have head knowledge or intellect that there's this Christ. No, you start to live your life that way because you are an adopted son or daughter. You can accept him today. How do I do that? Lord, come into my life. Save me. I believe that you did these things. I believe that you are the Son of God, and I'm going to follow you to 180 what I've been doing and change my life. All right. See you next week.